to the session, the Hindu editorial analysis for proficiency in English. As usual, let us start with the snippets. The very first one, disqualification pleas. There's a simple word here. We have got many a time, plea. Plea can be a noun, can be. Usually as a verb, we use plead. Plea means a request, urge. Good morning. It's a legal term. Disqualification pleas. SE slams. Slam two meanings. One meaning, we try to close a door with a lot of force. We use the word slam. Don't slam the door. Another meaning, to criticize severely. Slam. Supreme Court slams means criticizes severely. Telangana speaker over delay regarding a particular issue, a lot of delay. Based on that, Supreme Court slams the Telangana speaker. Coming to the second snippet, here you can see curbing air pollution. Curb is an important word we have got many a time. And what does it mean, curb? Curb means a restrict, a restrict, a restricting air pollution, curbing air pollution. As he stresses need for long-term policy, stress, an important dimension usually. He stressed on the importance of punctuality. In this pattern, we should not use the preposition on. He stressed the importance of punctuality. And you have to recollect some verbs after which we don't use any preposition. For example, discussing about wrong. We are discussing politics. Don't use about. Order for coffee, wrong. Order coffee. These you have to recollect. Inform two students, wrong. Inform students. As he stresses need for long-term policy. Coming to the next one, big announcement. EC orders special revision of Assam rules. This SAR special revision of Assam rules means election related. It has been in the limelight for quite some time, and you all know it has become controversial as well regarding that. Already Bihar they initiated, and now I think second state is Kerala. Now it is Assam. Going to the next one, here we have an important word. Democracy and integrity. Need for a social audit for SAR 2.0. Exercise is bereft of proper rules, oversight, scrutiny, or audit. There's one important word, bereft. Bereft has two different meanings. One meaning, it means deprived of. Bereft of means deprived of. Another meaning, someone very sad, lonely because of loss of someone very close. Then also we use the word bereft. Two different meanings. Here it talks about democracy and integrity. An important word you all know, national integration. There it has the meaning of unity. But is a man of integrity has a different meaning altogether. He is a man of integrity means he is above board. Means what? He is honest. He is an honest man. That you have to know. He is a man of principles, man of ethics, man of integrity, above board. Need for a social audit for SAR 2.0. Exercise is bereft of proper rules, means deprived of proper rules, oversight, scrutiny, or audit. All these are required to preserve democracy and integrity. Very important. Coming to the last one related to tennis, you can see the pick of Sinner. Perfect finish. Sinner beats Alcaraz, wins ATP Finals title. Right now, they are the rivals, both of them, formidable rivals to each other. Formidable means very strong. And sometimes Alcaraz wins, sometimes Sinner wins. The latest fight between the two, it seems Sinner prevailed and he has won ATP title. Related to tennis, coming to the main headline, 45 Indian pilgrims killed in Saudi mishap. There are two words. One pilgrims, the other one mishap. Mishap means an unfortunate incident. And pilgrim, usually some people, they visit a lot of holy or sacred sites on a single trip. That trip is called pilgrimage, and the person is called pilgrim. And pilgrimage, usually old people, religious people, they take up pilgrimages, and the person is called pilgrim. Some unfortunate incident, mishap means what? Unfortunate incident. In that mishap in Saudi Arabia, how many Indians got killed? 45 Indian pilgrims killed in Saudi mishap. What exactly happened? Collision sparked a massive fire that killed the passengers hailing from Telangana. It seems a collision means the bus had stopped on the roadside when it was hit. Saudi officials are investigating. It seems the bus was had stopped on the roadside, parked on the roadside. That time, another vehicle must have hit and generated sparks, and the bus caught fire. Based on that, 45 Indians died. Very unfortunate. A massive fire that killed the passengers hailing from. Hail has three different meanings. One meaning, hail means what? In this context, come from, belong to. Another, hail someone, praise someone. Third one, hailstorm means what? With small ice balls along with rain, that is known as hailstorm. And when you know this is about pilgrimage, as a smart learner, you have to think of all the words that go with religion, theology, theist, agnostic, sacred, holy, pilgrim, pilgrimage, devotion, devotional, disciple, and a negative shade of religion, black magic, sorcery, and also witchcraft, which all the words should be at your fingertips. Very unfortunate. Coming to the other snippets, what do we have here? Trump backs vote to release Epstein files. Simple words, nothing to learn. MGN REGS cuts an attempt to deny rural poor work. Cuts an attempt, stops an attempt, thwart an attempt to do what? Attempt to deny rural poor work. Yesterday I read out one snippet and it talks about cutting down the number of employees. Regarding that, extension of that to this one. Arms allegation leads to combing of Raj Bhavan. Arms allegation, combing of Raj Bhavan, that is a bit in Kolkata, that means West Bengal, Raj Bhavan, the place where the governor resides. And it seems combing means they are searching on the allegation that some arms have been stored over there. Allegation, you point out someone without evidence, you have to think of two words. One is allegation, the other one is accusation. Government hikes print ad rates to help media ecosystem. Hike has got two different meanings. In this context, it means increase, hike the prices, increase the prices. But it also goes with, if you take two words you have to recollect, one is hiking, the other one is trekking. What is the subtle difference between hiking and trekking? Long walk, countryside long walk, we use the word hiking. Mountain region, ups and downs, valleys, mountains, we use the word trekking. And also highway, when you try to take, ask for lift, you want to go from one state to another state. On the highway, you ask for lift, that is called hitchhiking. Have you heard of this any time? Hitchhiking. In the past, it was very popular among youngsters in the US. Now, not so popular because of security factors, security reasons. Hitchhiking means asking for lift, especially on the highway. Now, you can see a beautiful pic, appealing pic, guiding light. Obviously, you can make out, goes with religion, culture. Festival glow. A woman lights up lamps on Laksha Deepotsava in Bangalore on Monday. Laksha Deepotsav. Never heard of that? Because no wonder, because it is part of Western culture. It is part of the US American culture. Hitchhiking. Hitchhiking means asking for lift, moving from one state to another state on the highway. And here it is about Laksha Deepotsav. Means not a good question. How many deepas? Obviously 1 lakh. Sometimes I ask students, Laksha Dweep. Dweep means island. How many islands? It is sheer common sense. Spontaneous answer should be 1 lakh. That's why it is called Laksha Dweep. Coming to the next one, Blast accused is sent to NIA custody for 10 days. One more suspect arrested. This goes with, in front of Red Fort, there was a bomb blast and a lot of people died regarding that. They're still working on that, trying to find out the people behind. Trade deficit surges. Surge also means sudden increase, one meaning. Another meaning, sudden forward movement, we use the word surge. And sometimes a few people, sudden forward movement, that results in stampede. Here it talks about sudden increase, 141% to 21.8 billion in October as imports rise. Raise, you have to recollect, we have got many a time. Sheikh Hasina associate sentenced to death over 2024 crackdown on youth. This goes with Bangladesh turmoil. Turmoil means what? Turbulence, disturbance, chaotic situation, and recent development. And they want India to hand over Sheikh Hasina. And this results in sentence to death, death penalty. You can also think of capital punishment. That's all from the front page of today's Hindu paper. Today's editorial, we have about 18 words, a lot of words that go with effective English. They go with effective vocabulary. And besides, I'll be doing the analysis. I'm going to present questions based on comprehension skill. Today, I have brought mini mocks. Some of the exam topics that go with mains exam will be useful because we have two exams, SBI clerk mains, IBPS clerk mains. Let us see what it is about. But before that, editorial vocabulary. Because of 18 words, how many words? 18 words. It is not practically possible to present all the 18 words with the word profiles. So, what I'm trying to do, I will present the word, the part of speech, and the meaning. And those who have been attending regularly, for them, these are all familiar words, 80%. What is the first one? This is new. We have got for the first time. Tunnel is always narrow. So you should be able to guess. Tunnel vision means a narrow vision, not taking a holistic approach. Tunnel vision. Part of speech, noun, a phrase, you can say idiom also. A narrow, limited way of thinking that ignores broader perspectives or alternative explanations, not taking a holistic approach. Or you can also think, yesterday we got bird's eye view and 360 degrees panoramic view. All these you have to recollect. Introspection, an important word, but you have to recollect a few words like I have given many a time. Contemplate, introspect. Sometimes you are alone and you ask yourself, am I doing the right thing? Am I going the right direction? Self questioning, and that is known as introspection. When you face a defeat, when you lose something, when you don't get success, that time you should go for introspection, find out the reasons behind, and you have to look at it objectively. Then you have to work on the gaps. Then obviously you can bounce back and become victory, get victory, become triumphant. It talks about that. And when some people think of past all the time, what do we say? We say, don't brood over the past, don't dwell on the past. Very good, Pavani. And who else? Introspection, part of speech, noun, the act of examining one's own thoughts, mistakes, self questioning, philosophical, objectively, motivations, an important word. You all know the word disaster, a natural disaster. But when it comes to performance, someone doesn't perform well. We say it was a disastrous performance, means complete failure. Complete failure, we also use the word fiasco. What is it? Fiasco means utter failure, complete failure. Here, disastrous, part of speech adjective, extremely bad, causing great damage or failure. When you talk about nature, natural disaster, causing great damage or wreak havoc. And when you talk about someone's performance, disastrous means complete failure or it was a fiasco. Election background, to tell you, purported, an important word. Here you can think of claimed or alleged to be true but not proven. Part of speech adjective. Claimed or alleged to be true but may not be true. Important word have given many a time. Purported. Collusion. Collide means two vehicles hit each other, that is called collision. What is the word over here? Collusion. Collusion has a negative connotation. Someone joins hands with someone else and plans something negative or illegal. Then we use the word colluded. Here, part of speech noun meaning secret cooperation between two or more parties for a dishonest or illegal purpose. That's what I was talking about. It has a negative connotation. Do remember collusion. Perceive means imagine, visualize, think, feel. Part of speech adjective, it can be a verb, meaning seen, regarded, or understood in a particular way. When you see a particular situation, you think, okay, it is this way. That is your perception. Perception is a noun form, perceive is a verb form. By people believed to be true, maybe, may not be. Manipulate. Manipulate also has a negative connotation. Hypothesis, Shriya, good. Hypothesis, someone's theory without evidence. And also you have to recollect hypothesis singular, hypothesis, SES plural form. Manipulate someone has a negative connotation, part of speech verb, to control or influence something or someone unfairly or cleverly for one's own advantage. For your advantage, you try to change someone's stand or opinion. That means what? You have manipulated that person. Here, uphold, it's a legal term, goes with quotes. Quote upheld means what? Supported. Part of speech verb. To maintain, but generally it goes with support or defend a principle, rule, or law. As I said, it is a legal term. It goes with quotes. Prevail, an important word, though we have got many a time. Prevail, one meaning, exist. Dominate. Domination, dominating. That meaning you have to remember. Prevail upon. Prevalence, what is a noun form? Prevalence means widespread. Prevail, part of speech verb, to win, succeed, be accepted after a struggle. But generally, it has a connotation where it means prevail upon, means dominate. That word you have to remember. You can't afford to forget. Coming to incredible, our students know that. Incredible students means what? Unbelievable. Incredible performance, unbelievable performance. Part of speech adjective, hard to believe, astonishing, or unlikely to be true. Something unbelievable, you say incredible performance, mind blowing, flabbergasting, amazing. So many words are there. Coming to the next one, converge. Here, when things get joined, they meet at a particular point, that is called convergence. Divergence, opposite. And when rivers meet, we use the word confluence. That's also an important word. Part of speech verb, meaning to come together from different directions and reach the same point or conclusion. From different directions, certain things come, they join at a particular point, that is known as convergence. And from a particular point, different things go in different directions, that is called divergence. Recalibrate, calibrate to assess again, recalibrate, do the same thing one more time. Part of speech verb. To readjust or change something to make it work better or more accurately. Easy word, we have got many a time. What is the next one? Align. Align goes with design principles. When you talk to a designer, he uses this word quite often. Left alignment, right alignment, align the images to the border means what? To arrange things in the correct position, to bring ideas or actions into agreement. For example, their ideologies align with each other, means they match. Partisan, we have got many a time. Partisan means supporting a particular idea, supporting a particular party. And two parties support a particular issue, that is known as bipartisan. Goes more with the US context. Strongly supporting one political party, group, often without considering fairness or facts. Without considering fairly or without considering facts, you support a particular party. That is known as partisan approach. Concerted efforts takes the word efforts. Together you work on a project, then you have to use the word concerted efforts. Part of speech adjective, meaning done together with effort and planning, coordinated and deliberate. Together is a key word. Concerted takes the word efforts, very important word. Coming to the next one, franchise. Franchise has got two different meanings. One, you all know franchisee. It goes with the business context. A particular business has the brand image, brand value. They try to spread the wings. Then they go in for franchisee model. So that imagine there's a company based in Delhi, became very popular, has got a good brand value. They want to expand. Then in Hyderabad, they give the same thing to another person, and that person becomes franchisee. He can use the same brand, logo, everything, and he can do business under the using that particular brand image. You all know that. But in this context, what does it mean? Today's editorial is about Bihar elections. In this context, obviously, it goes with the right to vote in an election, a different meaning altogether. Undermine, we have got many a time. Undermine means what? Weaken someone or something, usually something, to weaken, damage, or reduce the effectiveness of something. Fragile, we have got many a time. Part of speech adjective, weak, easily damaged. You should also think of the word brittle, easily destroyed. Fragile ecosystem. So many words, in fact. Let me tell you, all these words appear quite often in different competitive exams. For beginners, these are extremely useful. These are rather indispensable. And those who have been attending regularly, in a way, you get a chance to consolidate what you have already learned. How does it start? Tunnel vision. The moment you see this, you have to wonder whose vision is tunnel vision. Obviously, it refers to Congress party, the Congress, on the Bihar election result and the Congress's stance. Congress's possessive form, stand or stance. So whatever stand the Congress party has taken, according to the editorial, it is a tunnel vision. What is the main idea? The Congress seems to be blaming the ECI to avoid introspection. When we face failure, a lot of people, we in the sense a lot of people, there are two options we have. One option, react subjectively. Then we try to blame others because of that institute, because of that master, because of that I could not get something. It becomes a blame game. That is one way of responding when you experience failure. Second way, you look at the situation, you analyze the situation objectively, and you try to find out the reasons behind, and you go in for empirical evidence, and based on that, you when you find out the gaps, you try to fill the gaps. That is an objective approach. And here the Congress party has taken the first one, blaming someone instead of going in for introspection. Once you see this, you should make out the broad framework of the editorial. Bihar elections, Congress, it was a fiasco, the Gathbandhan, total failure. Instead of analyzing the reasons behind, the Congress party is trying to blame the ECI and talks about some sort of collusion between the BJP and the Election Commission of India and the reasons behind to what extent it can be justified. This is a broad framework. Let us see how it starts and how it goes about. The disastrous performance of the Mahagathbandhan, led by the Rashtriya Janata Dal (RJD) in the Bihar Assembly elections, has been followed. This is a very good sentence because usually when it comes to competitive exams, especially bank exams nowadays, they're giving lengthy sentences. Whenever you come across a lengthy sentence, you have to think of the pattern. What is the basic pattern in English? Subject, verb, object pattern. But writers cannot give a lot of information if they try to do that. What they do, for the subject, they may use a word, a phrase, or a clause. And more information after a subject, they may use a phrase or a clause. When it comes to error location, a lengthy sentence, you should have the ability to identify the subject, the verb object, at the when you read the sentence. Immediately after that, you should have the ability to identify the phrases and the clauses after the subject. Put those phrases and clauses in brackets, then you check. subject verb agreement. That should be the approach. What is the subject here? The disastrous performance. That is a noun phrase. And the last word in a noun phrase, the last word is a key word. Performance, that is a key word. You have to focus on that. After that, we have a few phrases of Mahagathbandhan, led by the Rashtriya Janata Dal, and in the Bihar assembly elections. All these phrases you have to put in brackets and check whether the subject agrees with the verb or not. Performance has been followed. Present perfect passive voice. Yes, Divya, that's right. Performance singular. Based on that has been. Same sentence in the exam they may give have been. Then it is not correct. Has been followed by claims attributing this to. Attribute. You give the credit of something to someone. Tomorrow you get the job. On stage during the success meet, you want to give the credit of your success to your parents. What do you say? I attribute my success to my parents. I attribute my success to my parents. Remember this word, you may have to use it in the near future. Has been followed by claims attributing this to a purported collusion. Something you say something is looks like true but may not be true. Allegation but no evidence. Purported collusion means join hands with someone to do something or plan something illegal between the Bharatiya Janata Party (BJP) and the Election Commission of India (ECI). So, what is the stand taken by the Mahagathbandhan? They are telling, they say they lost because of collusion between the ruling incumbent party NDA and the Election Commission of India. But these are baseless allegations. That's what the writer says. And why should they do that? Because obviously, background information the writer has to provide us. What is the background information? Recent Bihar elections and the performance of Mahagathbandhan. The RJD won 25 seats, the Congress only 6, the CPA Marxist Leninist Liberation 2, and the CPA Marxist just 1. This is a dismal failure, dismal performance, utter failure. Allegations of vote theft revolve around pre existing concerns about the ECI's perceived bias towards the BJP. Rahul Gandhi vociferously talked about vote theft and based on what? Some sort of perception. What is it? Belief, but no evidence. What is that perception? The Congress party and that Mahagathbandhan, they believe there's some sort of bias, if you take vote theft, revolve around pre existing concerns about ECI's perceived bias towards the BJP. They feel the BJP has some sort of soft corner towards the BJP. Based on that, they have been throwing allegations. And around the more contestable claim of someone asked, what does it mean? Contestable claim means something that can be debated. Contestable claim. When I claim something, you all accept, then it's okay. But some people object, then it becomes a contestable claim. It can be debated and decide whether claim can be accepted, cannot be accepted. And around the more contestable claim of manipulating electoral rolls during the special intensive revision SAR. Already have done a few editorials. Those who have been attending this, for them it is easy to comprehend. What are the allegations? One allegation, Election Commission of India has colluded with the BJP party. One. Second, because of this SAR, about 65 lakh names of 65 lakh voters removed from the electoral rolls. And already have done a few editorials regarding that. The exercise raised concerns that it was moving the responsibility of proving one's eligibility to vote to the people instead of strengthening the state and the ECI to continue upholding it. This SAR became highly controversial and people have raised concerns. Rise, rose, risen, raise, raised, raised. What are the concerns? This particular, if you take Bihar elections, initially, Election Commission of India has mandated 11 documents. How many documents? 11 documents to get the vote, the right to vote. Supreme Court had to intervene and finally directed, it had to direct the Election Commission. And the Supreme Court suggested why so many documents, we can go for universally acceptable document, that is, and almost everyone has, that is Aadhaar card. I'm sure you all remember. It talks about the same thing. The exercise raised concerns that it was moving the responsibility of proving one's eligibility to vote. We don't have to prove, the state has to provide the system, then we should go use our that right. But unfortunately, hmm, unfortunately, that hasn't happened. And imagine the plight of the prospective voter. He or she has to submit 11 documents. That is not an easy task. It is an uphill task. Instead of doing what? Strengthening the state and ECI to continue upholding it. Concerns of this nature are relevant. Here, the writer supports the Congress, but throughout 80%, the writer does not support the stand taken by the Congress party. Concerns of this nature are relevant, including for the ongoing second phase of SAR. Second phase, I think Kerala is going to be the state, after that, other states. But prevailing explanations of the National Democratic Alliance's win are also not incredible. Prevailing explanations are not incredible, unbelievable, are not incredible, means they can be believed because they did the homework, they worked on certain things, and those things have worked and they got the victory. The writer lists out all those. But prevailing explanations, existing explanations of the National Democratic Alliance's win are also not incredible, converging on high. So, what did they do? Converging on high women's turnout, focused welfare and cash transfers, a recalibrated coalition of OBC and EBC groups, and organizational capacity. Because of all these, NDA could come to power. In fact, the ECI's decision to not restrain the Nitish Kumar government from transferring cash to beneficiaries of a state women's scheme by accepting it as ongoing contradicts a bar the ECI set during the 2023 Rajasthan Assembly polls for Ashok Gehlot's Congress government. Sentence talks about Election Commission of India, a particular decision not acceptable, rather contradictory. Rajasthan elections way back in 2023, when Ashok Gehlot was the CM, some schemes were going on that time, and they wanted to continue with those schemes, but ECA objected. On the contrary, Bihar elections, ongoing schemes, they accepted, they allowed. That is controversial. Thus, the allegations against the ECA are partly due to its concerning conduct. Allegations against the ECI, definitely to some extent, can be justified based on its concerning conduct. Means conduct here means behavior. Not acceptable. One state saying no, another state saying yes, definitely not acceptable. Cannot be justified. Second part talks about what? However, there is no verifiable evidence that the pattern of deletions by SAR across booths aligns with the voting preferences of one coalition supporters. Congress said they removed the names of some people because they don't support the BJP. For that also there is no evidence. There is also no method to match each deleted entry with a credible pre-existing record of partisan preference. And also no evidence to say that they removed that person's name because in the past they supported the BJP. No record as such. Then that claim cannot be proved and it becomes baseless. In the constituencies that the Mahagathbandhan covered its voter Adhikar Yatra, which framed the deletions as part of a concerted attempt to dispossess specific groups of their franchise, it performed as poorly as in the rest of Bihar. The Mahagathbandhan has been talking about removal of the names of some people, and in certain areas they have gone there, and they have taken up voter Adhikar Yatra. There also they have not done well. Rest of Bihar, and there also same performance. Means public did not accept that particular allegation. They did not believe. This failure may be because the Mahagathbandhan neither consolidated public sentiment following the Yatra nor linked livelihood issues with the SAR's inclusivity. Reasons why the public did not believe and why they had to lose. It also lacked credible answers to the NDA campaign. That NDA campaign, besides all those things, it also, when Mahagathbandhan announced Tejashwi Yadav as the CM candidate, NDA took a stand and said if he comes to power, Biharis have to experience again Gunda Raj. And the Congress, or not the Congress, the RJD, the Mahagathbandhan did not try to oppose that. The sentence talks about the same. It also lacked credible answers to the NDA campaign that electing Tejashwi Yadav as Chief Minister would lead to Jungle Raj, a reference to the RJD's previous terms. The election was also fought on the question of who should be Chief Minister. Finally, what happened? It was the society, Bihar, if you take, got polarized. Who should be the CM, Nitish Kumar or Tejashwi Yadav? Mr. Kumar or Mr. Yadav? And the polarization on this question evidently favored the former. Former, latter. Former means what? First in position. Here, who is first in position? Kumar. And latter, second in position, Mr. Yadav. And public obviously favored the former, means Mr. Nitish Kumar. How does it end? Opposition parties, particularly the Congress, should assess their failures in Bihar in a way that does not undermine an already fragile public confidence in the ECI. Main idea is being reiterated. At this juncture, the Congress party should not blame the ECI. Already credibility of ECI is at stake. And instead of blaming the ECI, they have to focus on their own flaws and they have to find out the gaps. They have to work on that. Why should they stop blaming the ECI? Blaming the ECI to avoid introspection can be self-defeating, means it may be counterproductive. They may lose elsewhere. For the Congress, to the extent that more of that is possible. The more they criticize the ECI, the more they are going to lose. That's what it means. That's all about the editorial. We have spent so much time because of vocabulary, I suppose. Try to answer these questions quickly. It's already 9:41. We have many questions to deal with. First five, check your comprehension skill. What is the answer? For first question, what is the central argument of the passage? If one student responds, then I will give the answer. We can move on to the next one. One B. The Mahagathbandhan failed due to internal weaknesses rather than proven ECI bias. Obviously, answer is B. Which of the following best captures the author's tone toward the Congress's stance? About the Congress stand taken by the Congress, what is the writer's view? Please mention the question number every time. Yes, first one, you guys got it right. Go to the second one. Appreciative, sarcastic, nothing to appreciate, criticizing, in fact. Sarcastic, usually editorials, they don't use this tone. Neutral, no need to write, not neutral, not alarmist. Critical, criticizing the Congress party. At the same time, measured, properly criticized with evidence. C is the answer. According to the passage, what contradiction does the author highlight regarding the ECI's decisions? When it comes to ECI's decisions, ECI has contradicted its own stand. Which one is it? What is the example given in the editorial by the writer? This is also an easy one. You should be able to answer. The ECI restricted welfare schemes in Bihar? No. The ECI allowed Bihar's cash transfers but prevented a similar move in Rajasthan way back in 2023. Yes, answer is B. What is implied about the Mahagathbandhan's Voter Adhikar Yatra? They have taken up Voter Adhikar Yatra. So what can be implied or inferred based on that. It strengthened the party support? No. It had no measurable impact on the election outcome. The rest of Bihar, they lost. Even there, they lost. Means no impact as such. It had no measurable impact on the election outcome. Both the places, rest of Bihar, there also they had to lose. The last question based on comprehension skill. What can be inferred about public perception of the ECI from the passage? Public perception. What do people of Bihar think of Election Commission of India? What is their perception? It is robust and unaffected? No. It is deteriorating due to past decisions? Hold that one. You need a negative one, not a positive one. It has improved significantly post election. It is entirely shaped by media reports. It is irrelevant to election outcomes. It is deteriorating, especially if you take that Rajasthan example. SA also has become highly controversial. No, answer should be public perception. B is the answer. Kavya, Purnima, they have got it right. And Satish also. Who else? Divya, Sukesh, and Feet. Now let us go to mini mocks, important questions. A few are based on error location, one or two based on fillers, then para completion, odd sentence. Try to answer the first one, error location. The government's decision to dilute the RTA Act even before implementing the key protections of the data law reflect a prioritization of secrecy over accountability. 6D. Purnima says 6D. Good. Here, subject, the government's decision. That is a subject. And noun phrase, the key word is decision. To dilute the RTA Act even before implementing the key protections of the data law, put all these words in brackets like a phrase. Decision reflects sentences in present tense affirmative form. Then we cannot use decision. We have to add S or ES to the verb. Based on what is it? Decision reflects. Decision reflects. Have you guys? That's right. Reflect is not correct. It should be reflects. Next one. The Data Protection Board, which is expected to regulate powerful tech firms, are placed under the same ministry that promotes these very companies. First, whenever you come across a lengthy sentence, first you identify the subject. Then identify the phrases or clauses after the subject. Put the phrase or clause after the subject in brackets. Check subject verb agreement. What is the subject here? The Data Protection Board. After that, we have a clause which is expected to regulate powerful tech firms. Put the clause in brackets. Then board is singular. We cannot use are. What are we supposed to say? Board is placed. The board is placed under simple. Coming to the next one, filler. The rules have been, but today the fillers are not easy because usually fillers I get words, but today fillers phrases, mains level questions. The rules have been criticized for introducing protections too late. While the dilution of the RTA Act has been enforced, words related easy, fillers, but phrase related, you got to understand the context. You have to be good at analytical thinking and you have to think sharply. Only then you can. Let us see how many of you are going to get it right. Question number 3. It is not D, it is not C, it is not D. That's what I said. These are mains level questions. Here, we are talking about the rules and we are talking about the dilution of the RTA Act. When it comes to rules, it talks about when, not how. When. When means too late. While the dilution of the RTA Act has been enforced, late related to time. Of all these options, only one talks about time. Which one is that? Immediately. That means these answer the question how, but we need the answer for when. Rules implemented too late and dilution of RTA Act done immediately. Too late, immediately. They go with the time factor. Based on that, what is the answer? Almost immediately. Opposite. Because we have a contrasting word. What is the contrasting word? While. Who has got B? I appreciate. I see Satish, one student. This is also based on phrases. The DPBI's dependence on the ministry raises concerns about potential in investigating big tech. Raises concerns. That is a clue for you. Based on that, you have to understand the context and you have to choose the appropriate phrase or words that can be used in the blank. Thank you so much for what, Veera, for bringing these questions. Rigidity. Understand the context. Raises concerns means there's some problem. And what is that problem? Usually, if you know the background information, then easy. Otherwise, also easy, but you got to spend some time. Concerns means there's a problem. Rigidity, potential rigidity in investigating big tech doesn't make any sense. Operational expansion, not negative. Empirical validation, positive. Judicial overreach, in a way, negative. But actually, here, those who have the background information, ministry and the board belong, the board belongs to the ministry. Then they may be, on the one hand, the ministry invites the IT companies. On the other hand, the board is within the purview of the ministry. Then there could be conflict of interest. Based on that, what is the answer? The DPBI's dependence on the ministry raises concerns about potential conflict of interest in investigating big tech. Who has chosen that? Highly appreciable. Word usage. In one particular sentence, the word undermine has been used correctly. Your job is to find out which sentence it is, where the word undermine, weaken, has been used properly. The researchers undermine data. Why will they do that? The frequent delays may undermine public trust in the law. Seems okay. The committee undermined grammatically wrong. He undermined grammatically wrong. The minister undermined grammatically wrong. So, what is the answer? The frequent delays may weaken public trust in the law. B is the answer. Very good. Here we have odd sentence. Odd sentence, there are two models. Please listen carefully. Odd sentence, part of mains exam. One model, 5 sentences, 4 about AI, 1 about sports. Anyone can make out that is odd sentence. That is level, lower level. Higher level, all the 5 sentences about AI. But 4 talk about advantages, 1 talks about disadvantage. That can be the odd one. That is a bit difficult. This is not the level 1, this is level 2. So try to get it. Quite challenging, not easy. A word of caution, don't be hasty. Read all the 5 and decide which one is the odd sentence. All talk about the same theme. Privacy, data protection rules, same theme. But which one is the odd one? This is a tough question. Six, E, haste makes waste. B, okay? No one has got it right. B is not correct. E is not correct. No. Many of you have chosen E. No. Who is this? Uday Kumar has got it right. Answer is D. Here, you have to use common sense as well. Practically, you have to common sense in the sense you have to think practically. The rules delay crucial privacy protections until 2027. Civil society groups have demanded stronger accountability mechanisms. They go with the same. RTI goes with the same theme, and DPBI goes with the same thing. And this also goes with the same thing because all these talk about personal data protection, privacy concerns. Then why D is the odd one? Because the government has announced new incentives for revealing personal data. No government will do that. To reveal the personal data, why will the government give incentives? Does it make any sense? Government will not ask the people to reveal the personal data. If at all, why will it give incentives? No government will do that. No government has ever done it. That is not acceptable. Not only odd sentence, not based on common sense, not acceptable. Have you guys got it? Answer is D. Only a few could get it right. At the outset, I said it is not easy. Now I see a few students, they say Satish, Kavya, and Sukesh. Go to the next one. Para completion, not odd sentence, para completion. Para completion, first you have to read the paragraph, understand the context, and the flow is important. Logical flow, coherence is important. Based on that, you have to choose a particular option that goes with the flow of the paragraph, the coherence of the paragraph. Again, challenging. The DPBI's placement under the ministry raises doubts about its independence. The same ministry actively promotes investments from tech giants who are major data handlers. There is something like a paradoxical situation, ironical, contradictory. First, you have to understand. Ministry invites the IT giants, and a particular board within the purview of the ministry has to find out whether the companies are doing well or not. Very good. Who is this? 4623 feet and Purnima. They have got it right. Answer is the first option. This dual role could create a conflict in maintaining impartial oversight. And it doesn't talk about the financial freedom. It doesn't talk about audit itself effectively. Then why should we have a board? Tech companies might find it difficult to operate in India. No, not related to that. This move fully ensures transparency. It does not ensure transparency. It goes against the given paragraph. I appreciate those who have chosen that option, first option. Now, I told you one day idioms, one day phrasal verbs. Try to get all the phrasal verbs. First one, follow out with. Follow out with means argue with somebody. D. Get along means to have a good relationship or be friendly. A. Look after means take care of someone. E. Look up to, admire somebody. C. Take after, resemble someone. B. So, what is the correct order? D, A, E, C, B. Fall out with. I fell out with my brother. Means I had a fight with my brother. Get along. I get along with my brother. I have a good rapport with my brother. I look after my sister, take care of my sister. I look up to my father. I take him as a role model. And I take after my mother. I resemble my mother. Very good. I hope you guys have got enriched. Have a nice day. I will see you guys tomorrow with another edition of The Hindu. Thank you.